Today I want to tell you about another coincidence as I give you the information on a Pakistani man with ties to Iran that was arrested one day before the attempted assassination of President Trump. Now, not only am I going to give you the details about who this guy was and what we know about him, but also was there ties to the known shooter, and is this actually just a smokescreen for something else? I'm going to give you my opinion, and of course I want to hear yours. No matter if you agree or disagree, down below after the video, let me know what you think. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. Let's go and get into it. So Asif Merchant is a Pakistani man. Apparently he was born in 1978, and he has dual families, one in Iran, I believe, and one in Pakistan. Well, he came over here in April of 2024, and that's when he had this incredible plan to actually kill political leaders in the United States. And although the name of this political person has yet to be revealed, we know that Donald Trump was one of these people. Now, the person he talked to in April actually turned this information into the FBI, and that person became an informant for them. And then he needed to find hitmen. So he found his two hitmen who were undercovers as well. And by the way, this entire master plan was written out on a napkin. I don't know if it had ketchup and mustard stains on it. Doesn't really matter, but this master plan is pretty sophisticated as you're about to see. So he finds his hitman. He's got his contact. Each of them are going to get $5,000. This is an advance payment. Now remember, Iran has a lot of money now because of the current administration. So $5,000 seems a little bit light, but I don't know. You let me know what you think down in the comments below. So there's three things they need, right? They need to steal some documents or a USB drive. They also need to get 25 people to cause a distraction, a protest at a political event, and then presumably kill the person that's there at that political event, which we think obviously is Donald Trump. So what better way to do this than to drive around Brooklyn and look for recruits? So if you're starting to think that this sounds really odd, it only gets stranger, I can assure you, from there. And look, I've driven in some pretty sketchy areas, but I've never driven in an area so sketchy that I thought, man, this would be a great place to find some future assassins. It's never gone that far. But apparently in Brooklyn, you can find anything you want, including assassins as well. Now, we're talking about Iranian plots and mistrust of the government and the FBI and the Secret Service and all this kind of stuff, but one thing you can trust and know is the fact that I'm giving away a 2025 Indian Scout Bobber to one of you. The way you sign up is super simple. There's one link in the description of this video which takes you to Headshot Nation. That is all of my videos right there in one place, which in return gives you early access to videos, ad-free videos, exclusive videos, and also a chance to reach out to me if you want to provide me some information on any of this stuff we've been talking about, future video ideas, any of that. This is one place where you can check out all of my content. And in order to enter to win this over $13,000 motorcycle, all you do is sign up for 6 months, which is $50, and you're automatically entered to win the 2025 Indian Scout Bobber. One thing that separates our giveaways from others is I work with a small veteran-owned company, so we keep our pool of entry small and the time frame small. You only have until September 30th, 2024 at 11:59 Pacific Standard Time. It gets cut off, so we keep the time frame very small, so you have a real chance of winning something. A lot of times it's less than 500 entries on our giveaways. So again, if you're interested, click the link in the description, sign up to Headshot Nation for your chance to win a 2025 Indian Scout Bobber. And remember that your support directly supports me along with that veteran-owned company. Big thanks to you guys. Let's get back to the video. Now, they knew about this in April. Trump's security detail didn't increase though until June. And July 12th is when Merchant was arrested. So you're telling me 3 months, essentially, 2.5, 3 months, this guy is just able to walk amongst Americans. When he flew in, was he on a plane with Americans, right? Now, I tell you all of this because, first of all, if you ever needed a reason to keep your guns, right, to get a gun, to protect yourself, and to make sure you don't give an inch of your rights away, here you go. Because this one guy is not the only one here that's amongst us. And to be honest with you, it's very 9/11-ish, right? Things like this just are super concerning, right? Because you know and I know that it's not just about this one guy. We're going to talk about him a little bit more, but there's most certainly others that feel like this, that are possibly planning stuff like this amongst us. And so to think that the FBI just kind of lets these people walk around, I mean, what if this guy changed his mind? What if he said, you know what, instead of doing this, I want to cause as much havoc as possible and kill as many Americans as possible. They knew about him. So there you go. There's that. The other thing is, where did he get the money, right? I'm going to assume, maybe I shouldn't, but I'm going to assume that he didn't fly in with it. Maybe in Brooklyn you can find your fundraisers or whatever for attempted assassinations as well. I have no idea. But again, this just kind of gets odder the more we get into the story. Now, what they're saying is that before the assassination attempt were to take place, Merchant was going to fly out of the country. Well, he was arrested on July 12th as he had made plans already to fly out of the country the next day, the attempted assassination on Trump. Now, what they said in these articles since we found this out is that the end of August, beginning of September is when the hitmen would find or would learn the name of the political person that they were targeting. So, did this guy have any ties to the known shooter? Well, remember when this all first came out and we had talked about encrypted accounts? We didn't really even know what that meant, but we had heard accounts in like Germany and a couple of other places. Well, now they're saying, nope, there's no encrypted accounts, or there's no overseas accounts or anything. There's encrypted apps, but there's no overseas accounts, okay? So here's what I want you to think about. No matter if you agree or disagree with what I'm saying here, do you really believe that a 20-year-old beat out a $3 billion agency? $3 billion a year agency. We've talked about the incompetency of Secret Service, their planning. We still don't even know the name of the person that actually planned the Butler event, but we do know that they're not fired. We've talked about all the screw-ups. You know, one or two coincidences in this whole situation is one thing, but we've gone down the rabbit hole now at this point with so many coincidences that I just no longer believe any of it. I don't believe what the FBI is saying. I certainly don't believe what the Secret Service is saying. So, I don't know. If you believe that a 20-year-old beat out this organization, and that somehow this guy was just arrested one day before he was planning on leaving the country, and that was a part of his plan, is to leave the country before the assassination took place. I got some oceanfront property. I don't know if you've heard that song, but it's a good one. But I am convinced that this is some kind of a smokescreen to divert us away, because remember, it wasn't until after the attempt that we heard about this Iranian plot. And here we are almost a month later, and now we're hearing about this specific guy that was arrested. So it's either a way for them to try to gain back some credibility or to divert people's attention away from what's really going on. And here's the thing. I don't ever want to give an opinion unless I have some serious foundation to go off of. Again, I'm not a conspiracy guy, right? But I am a facts person, and I'm somebody that I don't believe in that many coincidences. I just don't. I don't think it's possible almost, you know. So again, it's one of those things I have to dig in further. But as it stands right now, I don't know if this guy was working with crooks. And also think about this, you know, $5,000 per person on this incredible master plan that was written out on a freaking napkin. Well, maybe, you know, hey, let's make this guy seem as incompetent as possible. But on this crazy master plan that they're talking about, you would think that there would be more money, there would be better planning and all of this. And yet, the first guy this person talks to, Merchant talks to, it just happens to turn him in. And now he's working with undercovers, driving around Brooklyn looking for freaking protesters or other would-be assassins. If I'm just totally being honest, going off gut instinct at this point, I just don't believe this story, or there's just something not right about it. But that's kind of what a lot of us have been saying since the beginning. There's just something really off about this whole situation. What the smokescreen is for, though, is something I'm very interested to learn. And again, I'll keep trying to dig and find the answers and the truth, because I think this is important. And also I think it's interesting that there's a lot of media out there that have totally forgot about this event altogether. They just stopped talking about it. That's weird, man. So I'll keep doing my part. And again, I want to hear your opinion, no matter if you agree or disagree. If you like what I do, consider subscribing. See you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.